Hi YouTubers, it's Smoking S787 again. For the first video today. Very, very special video today. This is a video I was talking about. I was going to do a very special video in a couple days, and today's the day. Today is my birthday. I am 21 years old today, and you know what that means. It has been 3 years, yes, 3 years, since I started smoking or using tobacco products. So, this is the video, 3 years since I started smoking. Okay. Anyway, I got a list with me, so, just to make sure I don't forget anything, you can look at the list right here. It's a Word document, and, just to make sure I don't forget anything. But this is going to be a little bit of a long video, so if you're not into watching long videos, I would recommend you don't watch the video or whatever. So, anyway, 3 years since I started smoking or using tobacco products. In the last 3 years, from April 3rd, 2009 to present, I have used cigarettes, cigars, cigarillos, little cigars, pipes, hookah, and nasal snuff. Now, that sounds like a lot. I'm sure that sounds like a lot to anybody who doesn't know my videos and who doesn't know me. I'm not sure why you wouldn't know me, because I am a pretty big... I'm not a huge YouTuber, but I am a partner on YouTube, and I do a lot of videos very frequently, so I want to make this very clear in the video. I no longer use cigarettes, and I do not chain smoke. Also, I have never tried chewing tobacco, dip, and snus. So, I have tried cigarettes, I have tried cigars, I have tried pipes, little cigars, hookahs, that kind of stuff, nasal snuff, but I've never tried chew, dip, or snus. And I don't chain smoke. I only smoke 2 or 3 times a day, usually 3 times a day. So, anyway. Part 3 of this video, I'm referring to the document right here, so just to make sure this video I don't miss anything. So, for pipe, by far, my favorite tobacco products are the pipe, the regular pipe, the briar pipe, or corn cob, and the cigars. So, as far as pipe tobacco goes, for what I really like, my favorite pipe tobaccos, Latakia is a pipe tobacco that I really like. It's very, very low in nicotine. That's another thing. I really don't like, even though I do use tobacco products regularly, every day, I really don't like nicotine buzzes, so they just make me feel sick. So, I prefer pipe tobacco that has lower nicotine, and just tobacco in general that has lower nicotine. Latakia, Aromatics, and Virginia are by far my favorite tobaccos for pipe tobacco. And if you're wondering, I do not roll my pipe tobacco in cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. I use actual tobacco pipe. So, I'm just trying to get everything out of the way, so to clear about any questions. So when people make the comments to this video, there's as little questions as possible to this video. For cigars, this is part 4. Cigars. As you know, cigars come from different regions, different parts of the world. I'd say number 1 on my list for cigars would be Nicaraguan cigars. Number 2 would probably be Dominican. Number 3 would be Cuban. I've had a few Cubans, but not many, because they're illegal in the United States. And 4 would be Honduras. So, and I have found that I do like the Maduro wraps. So, versus like Connecticut or Habano wraps, I prefer darker Maduro and Escoro wraps. Escoro is kind of hard to find, but I do like the Maduro that has been aged and fermented longer, because as we all know, the more time you age cigars, the more time you age tobacco, the better taste and the less harsh nicotine, less harsh ammonia you get. So, part 5 of this video, what I don't use for tobacco products anymore. So, what tobacco products do I no longer use? Well, there's a couple. I no longer use cigarettes. I tried smoking cigarettes for about 6 months or so. I quit. I was never a big time cigarette user. I never even inhaled them. So I mean, yeah, I was never a cigarette user. So, or I was a cigarette user, but I didn't really get into them very much, and I no longer use them. I haven't used cigarettes in over 2 years. So I really don't use cigarillos anymore, cigarillos, just because they have a really bad chemical taste to them, and they're just not good. The hookah, I really don't use a hookah anymore because it's just too sticky sweet for me. You know, just really irritates the back of my throat, and the hookah is just too sticky sweet for me, so I no longer use the hookah. And as far as the nasal snuff, the dry snuff, I no longer use that anymore. I might take a pinch, you know, once a month maybe at the best, maybe a couple times a month, but really, I really don't like nasal snuff anymore. It really makes me sneeze. It really irritates my nose. It's just not good, and I prefer the regular pipe and the cigars, the premium hand-rolled cigars, over the other tobacco products that I've tried. So, what's next? What I've noticed health-wise, I always do this. So, after every increment, if you know what an increment is, you know, my half birthday and my birthday, I do what I notice health-wise. So, what have I noticed health-wise after 3 years of smoking cigars and pipes? Because mainly I've been smoking cigars and pipes. You know, with the exception of trying cigarettes for that 6-month period, and occasionally using the hookah and the snuff, you know, the majority of the tobacco products I've used are the pipe and the regular pipe and the cigars, the premium hand-rolled cigar. So, what have I noticed health-wise? Same basic things I've noticed health-wise. If you watch my video, 1 year since I started smoking, 18 months since I started smoking, 2 years since I started smoking, 2.5 years since I started smoking, you'll know. Same basic things: dry mouth, dry gums, dry tongue, dry lips, kind of irritated throat, kind of a little bit of a scratchy throat. Yeah, I have to, you know, clear my throat more often. Just same basic things. And I think this was recommended. Yes, this was recommended to me by Raindog. If you're not subscribed to Raindog, I would recommend you subscribe to Raindog. That's Raindog, like dog. Raindog, summary number. He gave me a tip, because when it comes down to it with health risks with pipe and cigar smoking, since I don't inhale the smoke, I just puff on the pipe and cigar. The biggest risk to me, obviously, is oral cancer, throat cancer, that kind of stuff. So, he gave me a tip about a year ago. Actually, it was exactly a year ago. And he was basically saying, you should have a drink after you smoke, a drink of water after you smoke, to keep the dry mouth and dry gums from getting out of hand. And he explained to me in 2 videos, I think it was 2 videos or 3 videos, he explained to me how you never want your mouth to be too dry, because, especially with smoking, because the dry mouth can lead to cancer cells. So I always have a drink after I smoke. So I always keep my mouth wet, always keep my mouth moist, and always keep my mouth wet. So anyway, preventing infections. I have noticed over the last year or so, if I smoke in a closed space, like say for example I smoke in the garage, I obviously can't smoke in my parents' house, but even though I'm 21, but if I smoke in the garage with the door closed and I inhale my own secondhand smoke, because you can inhale your own secondhand smoke, I notice it lowers my immunity to chest colds. So I try to smoke outside as often as I can, and I try to keep my visits to my tobacconist, where you can smoke inside the smoking lounge, to pretty limited, maybe once a week at the most. So I'm trying to prevent myself from inhaling my own secondhand smoke. Honestly, I am not surprised that I've noticed so little health-wise, because like I said, I only smoke 3 times a day. I never ever inhale my pipe or my cigar. I keep it in moderation. I don't smoke cigarettes, so I think it's pretty normal. At least for 3 years, that I've only noticed dry mouth, dry gums, that kind of stuff. Now, what will I notice in 20 years? I'm not sure. So, but that's a bridge I'll have to cross when I get to it. So anyway, yeah, it's also recommended you brush your teeth after you smoke, because the whole goal of the reason inhaling is so bad in general is because the tar gets into your lungs and arteries and sticks there. So, however, when you don't inhale, it stays in your mouth and throat. So, the goal of brushing your teeth, mouthwash, Listerine, mouthwash, water, is to flush out all the tar. So, and I try to keep it to moderation. I try to keep it to 2, ideally, smokes a day, maybe 3. Once in a while 4. So, and I think that's pretty moderate. I mean, I could be wrong, but anyway, and honestly, it's my choice, so I don't know. Part 7, what tobaccos I will be trying in the coming 6 months. So, again, when I turn 21 and a half on October 3rd, 2012, I'll be doing another video like this. Kind of itchy nose for some reason, I don't know. What tobaccos will be trying in the next, 6 months or a year or so? Well, probably more Virginias. I'm getting more into Virginias lately. I'm starting to move away from the Latakia. It used to be that, pipe tobacco to me either had to be aromatic or Latakia. It was non-negotiable. But I think I am moving more to the Virginia Burley blends. Maybe not Burley blends, but more Virginia blends. Possibly I'll be trying more English aromatics or Aram English crossover blends. However, they're very hard to find. If any of you, well, you'll know. I mean, any pipe smoker will know that English aromatic blends, which are basically flavored pipe tobacco that has a lot of key in it. It's kind of like a weird, kind of like Stillen's Black, Cross-Eyed Cricket, Cornell and Deal. They're very odd blends. Some people like them. It's kind of like the thing where 50% of the people who try them love them, and 50% of the people who try them hate them. I tend to like them. I've only tried one, Cross-Eyed Cricket, and I'm trying to find more. But anyway, probably in the last kind of tobaccos I'll be trying is Burley. I will be trying more Burley blends, but the problem with that is Burley blends tend to be high in nicotine, and nicotine just really makes me sick. So it's going to be hard to find good Burley blends that have low nicotine content. As far as cigars I'm probably going to try more. I've had some pretty expensive cigars. I've had some pretty cheap cigars. I'll probably be trying some, I don't know, maybe more Maduros. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll just have to, like I said, like they say, cross that bridge when I come to it. So anyway, Part 8: Pairing alcohol and coffee with tobacco, pipes and cigars. Now, I am 21, and the legal drinking age in the United States is 21. So I am of legal age to drink. So, and speaking of that, there will be beer reviews and wine reviews and liquor reviews pretty soon. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, because I'm afraid if I do a beer review on YouTube that I'll get flagged and the video will be age restricted or taken down. So I'm debating how to do it. I'm really trying to be careful with it because I am a partner and I've already made a lot of money, so I can't tell you how much money, but I don't want to risk my partnership, so I might just do a beer review without the beer. So, I mean, honestly, I think I look 21. but or at least 18. I don't know, but I'm 21, so I mean, I'm really nervous about doing beer reviews. So, but pairing beer and coffee with pipe tobacco or cigars, like in terms of things I like to drink while smoking, water. I like pretty much anything. The only things I don't like to drink while smoke, I never like to eat while I smoke. But the things I don't like to drink while smoking are like very sweet things like Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew. Well, not really Mountain Dew. I don't know. Things like lemonade, unless I'm smoking my hookah, which I don't really do anymore. But really sweet things I really don't like to smoke and drink at the same time. But you know, beer, wine, rum. I had rum in Canada, so you know, coffee is great. Tea is great. Water is great. I do like to drink. I do like to drink while I smoke, not just alcohol, but other stuff. So anyway, conclusion. Wow, we're already at the conclusion. So, well, I just want to give a thank you to everybody who subscribed to me, everybody who's made it possible for me to do videos, even though I've done the videos myself. I want to thank Raindog, the Ozonelayerhatesme, TobaccoRow, the BaccyButcher, Kingciggy, Jay, Dighx, Matches 860. Pretty much everybody who subscribed to me and has just made it possible. I think I said Kingciggy. Who just made it possible and who supported me from day one. I mean, Raindog and Ozonelayerhatesme have really supported me for a long time, so for a couple of years now. So just a thank you to everybody, and yeah, not much else to say. I'm healthy. I'm enjoying my tobacco. I'm about to enjoy some beer tonight, and responsibly, of course. And I don't drive, so it's not a big deal, really. So anyway, peace out, bye, see you guys later. One more thing, actually. Now that I think of it, one more thing, actually. This will be a very long video, but one more thing, actually. In terms of tobacco shops I've visited, there's not a whole lot of tobacco shops where I live. There's a couple near me. One in Worcester, one in Framingham. Yeah. So, and then there's a couple in Boston, so, but, I'm not in the South. I'm not in Tobacco Paradise, so TobaccoRow, so, it's hard to find tobacco shops, but, I always try to, find, new tobacco shops and visit them. So, anyway, just a peace out, bye, see you guys later. Thank you so much, and, just an update on my health and everything else, and peace out, bye, see you guys later.